Hi guys, it's Ame, and today I'm going to be talking about how I got 16 points in my A-level. That is Jupeb. No filters, no gatekeeping, honestly how I did it, and mistakes, everything, just generally the old Jupeb process. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but I've been procrastinating. But today I'm finally ready to talk about it. So I'm going to be dividing this video into sections. Sorry, let's go down here. Okay, so getting admission to Jupeb, accommodation, acceptance, classes, practicals, how I studied, the books I used, the syllabus I used, cheat codes for Jupeb. I know that's what a lot of people want to know, but let me get there first. How I used syllabus to pass, and then mistakes you should not make when doing Jupeb. So now getting admission into Jupeb centers. Now every university or most universities have their Jupeb center like OAU, UNILAG, Bowen, Abwad, many other universities like that. So when you want to write your Jupeb, you apply to any center. But the thing is, you have to be careful what centers you apply to, and make sure the center that you're applying to is accredited so that your result is not big. You get, because only Unilag is like the owner of Jupeb, and like they accredit some universities, allow them to run those programs. So like OAU, some other universities like that. University of Ibadan does not do Jupeb, and they do not accept Jupeb. So once for the exam, so the entrance exam, basically what comes out in the entrance exam is what you've done from SS1 to SS3, and the exam is usually not hard because it's just like doing common entrance. Honestly, it's not that hard, it's not difficult or anything. So once you write the exam, I feel like the cutoff mark is 40%. So once you get above 40 over 100, you'll be given admission, and then you can now resume in any Jupeb center you want to resume to. Accommodation. For accommodation, me, I wrote my own Jupeb in OAU. So the accommodation, it was 4% per room. Like that was it. And then immediately you resume, you start classes immediately. Classes and practicals. Classes are from Monday to Thursday, and practicals are on Friday. Yeah, practicals are on Friday. But then it might differ for every center. But in OAU, this is how it's done. So like if you want to get admission into OAU, it's advisable you do your Jupeb in OAU, because most likely they would only accept students that did their Jupeb in OAU into OAU. That's how it basically works. So if you are going to Abad, or you are going to Bowen, or you are going to any university, make sure you do your Jupeb under that school, because 90% of the time, if you do it under another school, the person is not going to gain admission. That's basically how it works, because they have their own students. It's just like, oh, I write Jupeb in Bowen now, and I want to go to Bowen, and then in my Jupeb center, we are over 400 that wrote in Bowen, and we are trying to get admission into Bowen. If someone comes from OAU that they want to come to Bowen, they would not accept the person. Not like, oh, you did not get 16 points or you did not meet the cutoff mark, except you have connection, but only because they have their own students. They cannot leave their 400 students and be attending to someone that came from OAU. You get? So if you are coming from OAU, just go to OAU. If you are in Unilag, just go to Unilag. But then there are some exceptions. I will not say, oh, there are not people that do it. I did it. I wrote my Jupeb in OAU, and I got admission into a private university only because you just have to have like really, really strong, like you have to know people. So like even though you get 16 points, to do something like that, you have to know a lot of people. So I would advise that it's not like, oh, stories that touch the art, they did not give me admission, I got 16 points, they're not giving me admission. I just advise that, oh, if you're registering for Jupeb, you are going to a school, decide on the school you want to go to, and that is the school you should write your Jupeb under, because writing your Jupeb under that school gives you an higher chance of admission compared to someone coming externally. How I studied, basically, if I can remember vividly, because it was 2022, basically how I studied, I used syllabus to study, and I really advise a lot of people to use syllabus, because if it's anything like my Jupeb center tried to push us. They pushed us above the limits. Like some things are not in our syllabus, and they taught us. And then I remember that time I'll look at it and I'm like, this thing is so scary. And then I'll check the syllabus and I'll be like, oh, it's not in the syllabus. I would learn it, but like I would not put all my attention. Do you get? Like I would not focus on it too much, because I know that, oh, it's not going to come out in the national exam. Just like in physics now, they are proving some formulas and stuff like that. I'll check the syllabus, and if I see, oh, proving this formula is not in the syllabus, I would not learn it. Like I can like just cram it to pass the internal exam, because obviously you have tests and you have exams. But when I'm preparing for the national exam, I'll know that, oh, this one is out of it. So I used syllabus strictly there for my exams. And like, let me share how I did it, because a lot of people say, oh, use syllabus, but like it's not actually easy to use syllabus except you have like a technique. So like I'll just share the technique I use. I'll be using my other phone, and then I'll like screen record it and show you guys and explain to you guys how I use syllabus to study. Okay, so I'm going to be using my phone, my second phone, to like screen record, and then I'll like, so like basically I'm using physics to like do as this exam, as for this example. Now for Jupeb, you offer 3 courses, and the school will give you the course, 3 courses you offer depending on what you want to study. Like for me, it was medicine, so my courses were biology, physics. Now under biology, physics, and chemistry, there are 4 courses under each. So like there are 4 biology courses, 4 physics courses, and 4 chemistry courses. But the thing is, they are taught separately by separate lecturers, but in the overall final Jupeb exam, which is after 1 year, everything is under each other. So like you write physics alone, you will not write like one, you will not like write like physics 001, 002, 003, 004 separately. You write everything together as physics. And like let me explain how the exam is. So the exam is objectives, theory, and practical. The objectives is like 60 questions, and then the theory is 8 questions. Now, 2 questions, that there are 4 sections and 2 questions under each section. So like physics 001 has 2 questions, answer 1. Physics 002, 2 questions, answer 1. Physics 003, 2 questions, answer 1. Physics 004, 2 questions, answer 1. So answering 4 questions in total, but you have 8 questions. And now this is where using syllabus is actually a great strategy, and using past questions. Now this was what I did. I checked the past question, and like obviously I'll see questions they ask each year. So like from 2015 to 2021, I was checking. So like let's use physics for example. Let's say 2016. Let me use this phone. 2016, the questions came out from unit and vector for physics 001, because physics 001 has it has about how many topics? Let me check. Okay, physics 001 has 10 topics, like 10 topics under it. So I know that okay, for the national exam, they're only going to pick 2 topics out of these 10 topics. So now I have to do process of elimination. Which topics do they ask more? So imagine I'm checking past question. I see in 2016 for physics 001, there are 2 questions, and those 2 questions came out from particles and vectors. The next year, it comes out from particles and dynamics. The next year, it comes out from dynamics and particles. And then I did that for all the years. And I noticed there was one particular topic they like to bring out questions from. And then those topics, I make sure I master them. Like those, like let's say it was dynamics. I made sure that every question under dynamics in my textbooks, I'll recommend textbooks later in this video. Every question under dynamics, I would make sure I can answer everything. Everything on dynamics, I'll make sure I can answer it. So now there are 10 topics. And for physics 001, I was confident that I could answer like 6 out of those 10. That no matter what they bring out in this 10, in these 6, I can answer it. That's what I did. And that helped me, because honestly, I did not read the whole textbook. I did not read the whole notes. Lucky for me, I got their pattern, and my questions were just as how I predicted. It's like, oh, this was the topic the question would come out from, and that was exactly where the questions come out from. Especially for my chemistry, that method really worked for chemistry. If you look at the past questions and you compare to your syllabus, honestly, you are going to know the questions they're going to give you that year. Except the Pep sees this video and like, they figured out the scope and they were like changed things. But that's how honestly Jupeb is. Jupeb, they're not stressful. They will just pick a topic and then they will bring questions from that like topic. So like now, that's how it is. Like let me keep explaining. So now, like I said, I'm using physics to explain. So physics 001, 2, 3, 4. Imagine there are 10 topics under each. That's making 40. And you're confident you can answer 6 under each of it. There is no way that out of the 6 topics you've read, you will not see one that will mistakenly come out, because remember, you're only answering one question under each course. So like each question is even 10 marks. So 10, 10, 10, that's making 40 marks. The theory is 40 marks. So that's just it. The thing is, the theory is actually very simple if you can understand the pattern they're going to use. And the thing is, I feel like the theory carries more mark compared to the objectives and the practical, because I think practical carries 20 marks. So like when a lot of people like, oh, the syllabus is much, the textbooks are bulky. The textbooks are bulky. How did you finish it? I did not finish it. I just use syllabus. Like anything that is intense, and I see that, I'll check the syllabus. If the thing is intense and I do not see it in syllabus, I am not learning it. I am not reading it. Like there's some things that, oh, I would see my mates reading. I remember that time there was this textbook, college physics. Everyone was carrying it around and solving all the questions. I never solved any questions there, because when I compared the questions in that textbook to what Jupeb said, I'm like, this is too advanced. I'm not studying engineering, and they've never brought out any of these questions before. And I checked their syllabus and I saw they do not ask intense questions, and I said that, oh, my Jupeb center is only trying to prepare us and make us intense. And I'm like, me, I don't need that one. It's just to get my 16 points. So I cannot stress myself on that. So like I feel like if you want to pass Jupeb, please carry a syllabus. Honestly, carry a syllabus and carry past questions. I'm not even joking. You can know the question that's going to come out the year just by looking at the past question and the pattern. Honestly, for objectives, there's not really any way to know what's going to come out from objective for objectives, because like they have a question bank. So all you just have to do is keep studying. The more you study, the more you can answer objectives question, and they repeat questions. So make sure you do your past questions very, very well, because like they're not really setting your objectives question. They might add few to it, but then they definitely repeat. For the practical is 20 marks. And for the practical, I can't really advise on the practical. All I can say is that for the practical, you would have practical classes, take your practical classes seriously. And for me, for my biology and chemistry practical, I don't know, you would see the specimens beforehand. For my set, I saw the specimens beforehand. But I think the set after mine, the specimens were not made available. For chemistry and physics, I feel like physics is the easiest to pass. Do you know, I did not do the practical, but I was able to pass it. I feel like for physics, the more you do practical, you know that, oh, this is supposed to be a straight line graph, this is supposed to be the curved graph, all those kind of things. So for physics, I only did, you know, like, oh, you do the experiment 5 times and then you put your results. I only did the experiment 2 times and I formed result for the rest. And then I got it, obviously, because I had an A in physics. So I already knew, to be honest, when I was like waiting for my result, I was scared that, oh my god, physics might be the subject I might fail and get B. Because I know I did not do that practical. I only did 2 for each, and I didn't even have enough time, and I was panicking. I formed result for the rest. I formed everything. I formed calculation for everything, and I still got it. So like, I feel like the more you do practical and practice, you don't have to waste time in the exam or to get. So it just depends on you. The thing is, Jupeb, you have to be smart, not just intelligent, because then I feel like smart people have a tendency to pass than intelligent people. I feel like intelligent people pass objectives, like smart people, I don't know how it works, but then you just have to be smart, because you can read the old textbook and the person still does not get an A, and someone that does not read the old textbook and use syllabus and is just smart about it and is getting an A, and you're like, this person, I know this person, she used to sleep, how is she getting an A? She used syllabus, my dear. She used syllabus and she studied smart and she knew what worked for her. So I'm not saying my method might work for you, but then I'm just sharing that, oh, this was the method I used and it definitely worked for me. And like different stages in your life, you would have to know, oh, what method works for you, which method doesn't work for you, and things like that. Like that's basically all on syllabus. Now, doing your Jupeb in a school and going to another school equals no admission. Federal universities do not give provisional admission, and I feel like that's what a lot of people don't know when they're applying for private school. Private school is all about survival of the fittest, who comes first. Like they will tell you that, oh, pay 20k, will come out the morning of the exam, it will come out, this is